Surprise!
What's going on?
Yes, I will.
Woo!
Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Dalitsochiwalo. I want to welcome everybody that is just coming in onto this channel. Those are new members of the channel. I want to welcome you and thank you so much for deciding to subscribe to my channel. And I also want to welcome those that are returnees. You know, I am always grateful for you and thank you so much for also coming back to my channel. Don't mind my hair. I didn't comb my hair. I like it like this. Sometimes I just wake up and shower and I don't want to comb my hair, so don't mind my hair. In today's video we are talking about something so special. So my editor, the guy that does my editing, got engaged. He got engaged. He managed to put a ring on that finger and I am so proud of him. Before he did that, he told me that this was his plan, right? And he was so sort of like scared. You know, I think guys and women, we are sort of like different. A lady always wants to get married, always is planning of moving one step ahead. Wow, guys, I think they take their time a little bit more, and when they want to do it, they sort of like are skeptical. They are skeptical to do it, and I figured that was what was happening with him, because he kept on asking me, okay, what if she says no, blah blah. I'm like, my guy, just go for it. It's gonna be fine. She will say yes. Anywho, this morning he told me he was finally going to do it. So he said, I'll send you pictures. I'm going to do it today. And I encouraged him. But one thing that along the way, one thing that he asked me was, okay, what do you think are the fundamentals of marriage? I might not be sure, or I might not know everything. One of the fundamentals of marriage, at least it is good to marry someone who believes in God. That's number one. You know, in life, the number one rule of life that, you know, my parents taught me as I was growing up or something is always put God first. So when you marry someone who also believes in God, you know, there's a chance that your family or your marriage definitely will have problems, but both of you will know on their own that, okay, we are going through storm and I think we need to pray to God, whether it's individually or it's on your own, but you can go on your own and put your knees down and say, God, I am going through this, I need your wisdom. And on the other side, your partner will be able to also be able to pray for you. You know, believing in God is not only praying to God about marriage when marriage is going through trouble, but also praying for your partner. You know, sometimes you know that maybe your partner is going through something, or just thanking God, or just, you know, telling God that, please God, bless my partner. You know, he's doing this, he's got these plans and stuff like that. So I told him that marry someone who believes in God. Marry a woman who believes in God. And the second thing that I told him is that it is also important to marry someone whose self-esteem is very high. You know, people with low self-esteem, or women, or anybody with low self-esteem, it's hard to progress in life, because low self-esteem can really drag you down because you don't have the confidence to do anything. You know, marriage is hard work from day one. You need to have that high self-esteem to know that I can conquer this, I can do this. You don't have to be, or you don't have to marry someone whose self-esteem is so low that when you're going through something, or in marriage you wanna plan for something, then they'll be like, but are you sure we can manage to do this? Are you sure we can, you know, even if something doesn't seem like you are capable of doing it, but your high levels of self-esteem will push you there, because always you know that, you know what, life is a risk, I'm going to do it. It is that high self-esteem that pushes you down there. Another thing, marry someone who has a career, not a job. Don't get me wrong, a job is very important. You need to wake up in the morning knowing that you have some kind of security, financial security. And financial security can come through a job. You know that you're going to work, and after 30 days, after 2 weeks, after 1 week, you're going to get a pay. You know, there's no marriage that works without proper finances. Marriage is expensive from day one. You are two people living. The moment you wake up in the morning to the moment you go to bed, it's all expenses. You know, those are, you might not see, but when you wake up, you want to take a shower. You want to take a hot shower, that is money. The heat that makes the water warm is also money. Everything is money. You eat, money. You wash the floor, money. You do anything, it's money. So sometimes you have a job, but sometimes that job is taken away from you just like that. You wake up the next day, you don't have a job anymore. Wow, as when you have a career is a skill that nobody can take it away from you. That skill that is staying inside you, that skill that you practice, that skill that defines you. When you have a skill, even if somebody takes away your job, you have to know that you will use your skill, and that's a career. So that skill can sustain you, can take you from one place to another. You can live in any environment, you can live in any country with your skill, and your marriage will be okay. Sometimes couples fight because of finances. So make sure you marry someone who has a career and not a job. Another thing is that it is also important to marry someone who is intellectually capable, who is competent intellectually, someone who is able to understand things without a problem. You know, there are other people that you try to explain what you're trying to say, but still they fight on and fight on and fight on with you. It's like they're not getting it. They're not trying to get what you're saying. So sometimes you might end up, you know, like I said earlier on, in marriage we fight. Not that I am proud to say that in marriage we fight, but guys, when there are two people who were brought up differently, who are coming from different backgrounds, who are coming from different practices, who are coming from different homes, and then you meet together, now you're trying to create your own home, there'll be conflict here and there. There'll be conflict. You know, one thing you have to understand intellectually is that you have been raised this way and he has been raised that way. Now you've come together. Now let's make this thing work. Let's create our own home, our own environment, our own rules. You know, I saw this when I married. My husband will say, oh, don't do this. Oh, you, and then I'll be like, no, my dad told me this is what we do. All the time I'll be like, my dad said. And then I remember one day he said, guy, listen, this is not your dad's house. I don't want to be hearing this thing my dad said. You know, at that time, like, I couldn't get it. I felt so disrespected. I felt like he disrespected my dad. But then as time went, I started realizing that, no, you know, this guy was right. Because I cannot keep, imagine if he's here, right? And everything he does, he should be like, my mom told me this. My mom told me that. You know, I'll not be happy, right? I'll not be happy because I am trying to direct him that, okay, this is how we will do our things. What do you think? You know? But then he keeps on saying, my mom said we shouldn't do it like that. Mom, is this your mom's house? This is now my house. I am in charge here right now. You know, so I figured out, you know, that whenever I was telling him, my dad said this, my dad said this, that was pretty much like me being sort of like childish. I wasn't thinking. My intellectual capability was kind of like low. You know, I should have thought harder and deeper that no, we will do things our own way. You know, so when you marry someone who is competent intellectually, then they'll figure out things quick. They will be able to say, you know what, I am sorry, without even too much fights over everything. They will even, you know, sometimes it's okay to apologize. That okay, I am sorry. Let's you know, get things right. Just because you want peace. Not that you're wrong, but I think every marriage needs a bigger guy. So sometimes it's okay to be that bigger person. And that only happens if you marry someone who is competent enough to think that way. So when you want to marry someone, put that in mind as well. Another fundamental will be marry someone who has basic values. Basic values will come into like trust. You know, trusting in marriage is a very, very big asset. It's a very, very big tool. You know, those insecurities comes because you're not able to trust a person. So trust, transparency to doing stuff, you know, respect. If there's something that I want to tell you, ladies, is that men value their respect so much. I don't even know where this respect, everything is, you don't respect me, you must respect me, you must, oh my goodness, these guys, these people. It's like respect is their number one ego that they were given by God. They want that respect so bad. So bad. When my husband, you know, when my husband tells me I am very childish, but I like it that way. If I am childish, I mean, I always tell him that, okay, you know, we cannot be too serious about things here. He says, no, daddy, you must differentiate when we are talking something serious and when we are playing, you know. But for you, it's like every time you just take everything simple. You're just childish. That's what he tells me. But it's okay. This is how I told him there'll only be one daddy in this life, and that's me. I can have a child who looks like me, who can do things like that, but they'll never be me. So my guy, you only have me, and there'll only be me. So if I am childish, just, you know, go with the flow now. And he always says, no, you know, sometimes I feel like that's disrespect. And then I laugh about it. I'm like, you are always talking about respect. But then I figured that a lot of people, a lot of guys, they value their respect. Their respect is their number one thing. So, you know, respecting someone, trusting someone, and loving someone, all of them comes because you have basic values, you know. So marry someone who is coming from a family that has basic values. You know, where you grew up from defines what you are today. The things you do, you know, sometimes you do things and people will be like, you know, I don't blame you. I don't blame you because your family is like this. So all the time, whenever you want to marry, make sure you marry someone that's got basic values. Another thing that I will talk about is marry a woman who is social conscious. What do I mean by social conscious? A woman should be able to feel for somebody. A woman should be able to have conscience to say, you know what? I went to your mother's house and I saw that your mother doesn't have good plates. I saw that your mother doesn't have, maybe her kitchen doesn't look nice. It doesn't look nice maybe because she doesn't have good kitchen utensils. She doesn't have good kitchen appliances. What if we, from our savings, what if we take out this amount of money and let me go and buy your mother something, so that at least her kitchen looks good. I see that your mother doesn't dress well. What if I get some money and buy your mother clothes? You know, it's not only family, but also a woman should be able to tell you that, you know, our neighbors, I think they're really struggling. What if maybe we take some food and give them? That is social conscious. You must be able to feel for other people. A woman must be able to feel for other people's children. It doesn't matter whether you have your own child or you don't have your own child. But a woman naturally has a soft heart. And that soft heart should sometimes come out and show. Marry someone. You hear me? Marry a woman who is social conscious. Another thing that I remembered about is have a life in marriage. You know, okay, for me, having kids and kids being so young and kids being not having help, because I live far away from my people or his people, and I don't have any help. I constantly started feeling like I don't have a life, you know, because all I do is wake up, take the kids to school, do this, go grocery shopping, do a bit of work, do that. You know, I don't really have time for myself. And in as much as right now it is also hard a little bit just because Corona hit, and with young children, I cannot keep on going out, going there and here and there. You know, it has made life a little bit also hard. But at a time where everything is okay, it is very important to have life. To have a life. Have somewhere, take your family, go out, go do something. Go enjoy life with your partner. Sometimes it's even okay or important to leave those kids with somebody else and you go spend a weekend somewhere. Though my husband tells me that, I know you that you can't even do that, because if we go that, I will suffer. I said, how can you suffer? He says, every time you'll be like, we need to call the person. We need to call the person, because he says, I'm too attached to the children, which is true. I mean, how wouldn't I be too attached to the children? Because like I said, I've never lived with, had any help. So it's like I have the children like 24/7. The only time the children are away from me when they go to school, but the other time, the whole time, they're with me. Now we sort of like grew so much attached to each other. So I think I'll really have a problem. But I'm also a hoarder. But for you out there, make sure you have a life. It is very important to have a life. And the last one, spend as much time as you can. Take your wife, take your husband out, go overseas, go do something, go hiking, go, you know, all those goody things. Because the more you spend time together, the more you still get to know each other, the more you forgive each other, the more you talk about your plans, the more you talk about your future, the more you talk about your children, the more you talk about your challenges in life, in marriage, your work, you know, the more you talk about what is happening, what you think is going wrong in your marriage. It is very important. So once again, let me say congratulations to my guy. I wish him a good life ahead. He hasn't told me yet when they're having a wedding or anything, but I am happy. I am happy for him, and I am happy for the fiance, the wife to be. I am happy for all of you, and for everybody. I hope you enjoyed this video. Until next time, I will see you in my next video. I love you so much. I appreciate you. Road to 600. Make sure you subscribe, you share my videos, you comment, you tell me what you think about the which ones you think are the good fundamentals of marriage. You write it down there, practice, do them, Well, I don't do most of them, but I try. I'll see you next time. Bye bye.